Somebody's outside. I can hear them. Hello, everybody. Hello, Jason and Bridget. Thank you for your help, by the way. Hi, everybody. This is my Watch Hours Grab afternoon live stream for what I'm going to try to do is attempt to draw some things. I've done it once before. I did it a couple weeks ago, and I set up a camera. I've got a camera up here that can show you what I'm drawing on my desktop with my sketch pad. I don't remember how I did that, so I've got to figure that out. Now I can see it over here on this monitor. Anyway, what I'm going to attempt to draw are some various Disney things. Disney Parks blog has a number of video tutorials listed on their website. And so that's where I got the tutorials from. And then within the past 24 hours, Jason and Bridget from Uper Wisdom Videos alerted me to other tutorials that are on the My Disney Experience app. So from what I can tell, that is not available online. It's not a YouTube video. It's exclusively, as far as I can tell, on the My Disney Experience app. So what I've done is apparently I had to update my app, My Disney Experience app, because it wasn't immediately showing up to me. So we updated it, and now we've got something here called Artist Studio, How to Draw Mickey. And apparently there are lots of other ones on here as well. So I'm going to click Begin Lesson. Now we drew, last time we drew Mickey, but what I see what this is. This is not a video. That's why it's not on YouTube. This is a step-by-step version of what the video showed us. And you just swipe as you finish one step, you swipe to the next one. So that's kind of neat. I'm interested in the one for Big Thunder Mountain, though. By the way, if I have this set up correctly, I can we can play some music while we're doing this. Can you guys hear that? Oh, let's say hi to some people here. Let's start from the top. Uper Wisdom Videos, welcome. Today's champion. Samantha Lowe, welcome. Dennis El Ghazi, good to see you. Mara Memphis, Jeffrey Resendez, Jennifer Jones. Disney Dan, how are you doing? Russ Stapleton, eating lunch and ninja watching. Be careful. Tina is also here. T. Marie Photography. Thanks, everybody. I didn't really tweet this out. I didn't. In passing, I said I might do this. But, well, here we are. Okay, so let me find a couple of things. I got to find Big Thunder Mountain, and I got to make sure I can get this camera to work. And I'm eating grapes. And I don't quite remember how I did it. All right. So, in the meantime, enjoy the music as I talk with my mouth full. Now, if I click off this, I think I lose my camera, and I do. I'm going to bring that back. What not to do? Thomas Edison said there were 1 million ways to not make a light. I don't know what he said. All right, let's see. All right, I have 2 webcams listed here. I'm just walking you through. I think I'm frozen now. I'm going to go back. Apparently, that's not what I did. Welcome back, Jim. I think I can share my desktop. And if I do that, you'll see what I'm up against. So if I go to this, yes, here's my desktop. Well, some of it anyway. And this is what I'm trying to access. This is one camera. And what you're seeing over on the right side is software for another camera. Not that anybody cares, but what I may end up doing is drawing and then showing you. But I've done this before. Oh well, we'll get there. So let me find on the My Disney Experience app. Oh, let's see. I don't want my music to be too loud. All right. Mar, this technology is why I'm thrilled to be a retired teacher. Now I fear the music's not loud enough. Anyway, let's go back to the artist studio. No, back to the top. And I'm swiping. Jason or Bridget, if you are here... Oh, I just lost it. Oh, there it is. Artist Studio. If you're here, how do you get to the Big Thunder Mountain tutorial? Because I only have the Draw Mickey one. And now we're cooking. Learn more. How to draw Mickey. And then I did that. Oh, well. In the meantime, I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. That's right. You know what I'm talking about. And Nicolas Cage referenced that Thomas Edison quote in National Treasure. Okay. So in the meantime, what I can do is share my screen. And I will show you this. All right. Okay, I've done it correctly. This is Disney Parks blog. And they're going to show us how to draw Sally from The Nightmare Before Christmas. So they have a list of drawing tutorials. This happens to be the first one. I'm still going to play the Frontierland one. Try to swipe it. No, it gives me a little white arrow in the upper left-hand corner. Now you're cooking, Mickey Mouse, Artist Studio. I mean, the Mickey one's cool, but we did that. Or click on it. Begin lesson. And then so when Jason and or Bridget, when you're on the app, does it give you the Big Thunder Mountain tutorial immediately, or is it the Mickey Mouse one? I'm interested. All right. In the meantime, let's go learn to draw. Let me move that one over here. All right. Let's see. Waiting for it to pop up. Okay. I think what I need to do is unfortunately pause the music and then turn up the guy's audio so I can hear him better. Where is it? Learn to Draw Sally. Here it is.
Here at Disney's Art of Animation Resort in Florida. 7 days a week here in the resort lobby. Like a lot of characters,
And we're
going to start off by drawing a circle. Just very, very lightly, just draw a circle the best you can.
Okay, I'm going to go to my sketch pad and draw a circle as lightly as I can. So, hey, there's Jeff. All right. So I've done that. Here we go.
Don't worry about it being too perfect or too exact at this point, because we're only going to use this shape as like a reference shape or like a construction shape in order to build our character's head. We're actually going to oval out our circle and turn it into an upside down teardrop shape. From there, we're going to add what we call access lines and guidelines. So we're going to draw one that goes up and down, right in the middle. As you draw these lines, make sure you draw them very, very lightly. Now we're going to draw 3 horizontal guidelines.
Alrighty.
The first one being about a third of the way down from the top of Sally's head. The second will be just beneath the halfway mark of the overall head shape. And then the final will be about a quarter of the way up from the bottom.
All right.
With the horizontal guidelines complete, let's now work on Sally's shoulders. Using the
All right, before we get there, here's what I have. That's pretty light to see. You don't need to see me at all. What you need to see is this. So if let me see, what does StreamYard look like? Okay, so I'm going to go back to me. So if I switch cameras here, and I know I'm frozen, but if I stop this software and then I reopen it, no, it did not work. Wait, it did work. Hooray. Now I can. There we are. Okay, so you can see my screen. There it is. But now I want it to be. There we go. Wrong way. There we go. How about that? Okay, so now you can see what I'm doing. So if I go back to this, this. All right, let's try this. So now you can see me draw next to this guy.
vertical guidelines, let's draw a half of a circle to help set up Sally's shoulders. Let's work on Sally's neck. So we're going to draw in 2 curved lines that come down from the head shape on down to her shoulders. Now let's move on to our line work. So we're going to switch to a darker pencil. We're going to start
I only have one
with
pencil.
her facial features and start with her eyes.
Really
in order to draw the eyes, we're going to work on drawing
looks like Spider-Man.
a couple.
By the way, that's another tutorial. So let's see if I something like that. Okay.
Big ovals on each side, and her eyeballs are going to hit the top and middle guideline. Then work on her other eye. Because Sally is a ragdoll, her eyes are not 100% symmetrical. Let's now thicken up the top curve of Sally's eye in order to add some eyelashes. And on that line, we're going to add 5 small curves for her eyelashes.
All right. So what did I miss?
Then to finish up the eyes.
Okay. So he made this darker. He's good. All right. So something like this. So if I show you what I'm doing, I'm going to watch him. What he did is he made the eyelid darker, but there's another, like, something here I didn't draw. Okay, that's fine. And then he was making, you know what? He is now like drawing real stuff as opposed to the guidelines. And I'm still kind of drawing guidelines, aren't I? That's all right. Okay. And then pupil. All right, that's not bad. What if I don't show you what he does and I just show you what I'm doing, and it'll be that much more impressive because his is going to be so much better. But let's see, effects. Let's see. Mine's a little washed out. Can I make it less bright? I can. No, that's not what I want. All right, let me zoom in. How about that? All right. So I'm going to hide his brilliance from you and just show you mine.
We're going to add a simple little circle.
Simple little circle.
For the pupil or the dark part of the eye.
He did both eyes. He skipped
From here,
ahead.
we're going to work on Sally's.
So he did the same thing here. I want to see what
jawline.
His,
so start about.
Okay, hang on.
Where the middle of the eyes are.
His hand is covering the other. So this is what he's doing right now. I think my face is too narrow.
And curve on down, then swoop on up.
Okay, there's the other eye. So it's pretty much the same as the other eye, right? Except there's one of those, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that. Okay, and then he is doing the other side of her face. That's a little more narrow than his was, but let's continue.
For the right side of our character. I'm drawing her jawline on the inside of our construction shape just to help define her face a little bit better.
All right.
After that,
and then
you're going to draw a big curved line that goes on down and curves back on up in order to give us the baseline for her mouth. For her actual mouth, we're going to draw a little dip that comes on down.
Little dip.
And curves back on up for her lower lips.
Lower lips.
And for the upper lips, we're going to draw a really wide but curvy letter M. For the nose, we're going to draw a really short but really wide letter V. Now let's refine Sally's shoulders, neck, and some of her clothing. Okay. So let's trace over.
All right, hang on. Okay, so his looks good. He drew a nose. I wasn't paying attention. His is so much better than mine. All right, something like that. No, too much. All right, something like that. Okay. Okay. He made this much darker. All right. Well, hers wasn't so pointy, was it? All right. Can I do that? Yes, I can. Okay. Moving on.
Our neck and shoulder construction lines. Let's draw Sally's shirt collar by drawing a really curvy and really jagged letter V. We're going to draw 2 curved lines to define Sally's sleeves, then move up to her hair. First, start off by drawing a curved line that comes on.
What he's doing, he made a V-neck shirt here, something like that, and then she's wearing a muscle shirt, so it looks something like that. Okay, like that. All right, now he's back up to her hair.
Over from the middle of her forehead, and just work your way down along the side of the head as you draw straight lines on down to her shoulders. With Sally, you have quite a bit of freedom to do as you wish with her hair as we work our way around. Now, since she's a ragdoll, you really make out her hair the way you want it to be. Then draw the right side.
I want it to look like yours.
Draw almost like an S curve that wraps around her forehead. Do a couple overlapping lines that merge on down. Then for the top part, just draw a line that comes on down and over. And just sketch your way down again to her shoulders. Since Sally is a ragdoll, we have quite a bit of freedom to draw her hair. So you can make it as messy as you'd like. We've drawn the hair that
so
goes
now
on
what
the
he's
front of her
doing
head.
is I'll just share it with you so you can see. So this is what he's doing. And I'll just play it.
Now let's draw the hair that goes on the back. Adding more lines is going to add more shadow and depth to Sally's hair. We don't want to scribble or color it in. We just want to add lots and lots of lines.
Okay.
With the main line work done, let's add some detail. Draw a small curved line under each eye, followed by adding some stitch lines around her mouth. That's just little straight lines and X's. Then we're going to add a stitch seam across.
Okay, so he did a lot of lines in the hair. Like that. And then this is quite dark. Something like that. He said you don't want to color it in, you just want lots of lines here. Something like that. All right. And then stitching like here. Right there. Like that. This looks more like Lisa Kudrow than Sally. But all right, well, let's continue.
The top of her face that crosses behind her left eye. Don't forget your little lines and X's. Then we're going to add a couple stitch lines to her neck. One that goes up and down, and one that curves left and right. For these, I'm just going to draw straight lines and no X's. Add one that goes down from the collar. And a stitch line there. Don't forget her shoulders as well. As we near the end, let's add some details to the clothes.
Hang on, let me do this here. This was so he's just, and then just doing it, trying to do it like he's doing it, and then there's okay, and then something like that
on the right half of her body. Maybe add in a couple swirls. On her sleeve, she has quite a few pinstripes. Now let's add some shading touches. Start with the neck, add a little shade that goes on down. Also, let's shade in the lips. For our final step, we have to sign our work. I'm writing Steven, but you want to write.
All right, here we go. You have news for me? Oh, you have. Oh, thanks. Look at this. Actual sketch pencils.
It looks good.
Thanks. All right. And then so he did this and then signed it. All right. All right. So if I zoom out. So there's mine, there's his. It's identical. You know, it's not bad. It's not perfect. But it's my first one. Noah, welcome to the show. Timothy Rainwaters is also here, seeing my lackluster drawing. Lucy MGM, welcome to the show. Oh, thanks, Mar. Superb drawing. I don't know if it's superb, but thank you. Oh, I see Jennifer Jones's comment. I pray this is over soon. And then I realized, oh, she's not talking about my live stream necessarily. Okay, that's good. All right. Mary Kehoe, welcome. Okay. Jason, Bridget, any word on the app here? This is, I'm swiping. Oh, that's way bright. You can't see what I'm doing. Let's see, color, no. Oh, here. If I tilt it a little bit, you can see. So if I go all the way down, that's it. Thank you for explaining, Mar. I had a feeling you weren't talking about me. I appreciate it, though. So there he is. It's Mickey. That's a different Mickey than I drew, so I suppose I could do that. But I wonder if they only allow one a day, one drawing tutorial per day on the My Disney Experience app. So if I go back and then back to the first page, there's no swiping. Artist Studio. Watch fun videos. No, that's not it. It's the Artist Studio is what I want. Come back out and in the app scroll. I don't know. What if I restart the app? Nope, that's that. Here we go. All right. We'll see. While I'm doing this, let's continue to listen to music. Oh, I can't hear it. Oh, there it is. All right. Oh, sure. You can unplug it if you want. All right. I suppose in the meantime, I'll let me look for what's the second drawing they do. Ooh, Elsa from Frozen. That looks complicated, but that might be funny. That might be funny to do. Let's click on it. Let's see. I don't want this to be full screen anymore. Okay, let's see. All right, going back here. So after that, celebrate spring with Daisy Duck. I can do that. Is this what you see? Oh, no, you can't see what I'm looking at. Sorry. Here. This is what I'm looking at. Oh, you know what? Oh, never mind. See how this is blurry? I think it might be because we have so many iPads going.
Can we go stop them?
If you don't mind.
I don't mind.
Okay.
I think it only lets you see like one at a time.
Oh, okay.
So maybe tomorrow you'll get a different one.
Maybe.
But I'll look.
Thank you. All right. So if I scroll down, here's this video. Stephen Ketchum. Oh, the Art of Animation Resort. We're going to attempt to stop some of our devices conserving bandwidth. So this might be a sharper image for you. Okay, so he's already begun. So I'm going to pause the music and then bring his audio a bit louder.
The size of an orange right in the middle of our paper. That's okay if your circle isn't exactly perfect, because we're only going to use the shape.
All right, let's see. That's still blurry, isn't it? What if I go back to me? So I'm starting fresh. I'm going to use one of these fancy new sketch pencils. How about that? Artist's Loft. I'm going to pretend that's prestigious. All right. All right. So now what does this look like? Still kind of blurry, huh? Oh, thank you. All right. So
Is it still blurry?
it is, but I don't have to show it necessarily. I'll just show what I do. That way it'll seem like I'm drawing it. Just from my own
As like a
skill.
construction
Okay,
shape
so
or like
he
a reference
wants,
shape in order to build our character's head.
in orange.
So once you got the circle done, we're going to add what we call axis lines or guidelines. So we're going to draw a line that goes up and down, right in the middle. And then let's go ahead and do a couple horizontal guidelines. So let's do one that goes left and right, quite near the bottom. And we're going to draw another line right above the lower horizontal guideline. Then we're going to draw another line more towards the top of our construction shape. So now that we got our construction shape complete, we're going to go ahead and switch pencils and start working on our line work. And the reason why we switch from the gray to the blue pencil is just so we can see the line work just a little bit easier. At the middle horizontal guideline, we're going to go ahead and draw almost like a really wide and really curvy letter W. And the line we are drawing now is actually going to be the very top of Daisy's bill. Now to that, we're going to draw in
this
big old curved line at the lower horizontal guideline here.
Which one?
You want to keep it about the same width as the construction shape. Now for the size, we're going to draw a couple really curvy and
it's over
funky
here.
looking letter S type shapes. And after that, we're going to bring that
Hey, Cargo,
really
welcome.
curvy and really wide letter W around
I'm so far behind.
to form
All right. So, okay, so I have, let me zoom in so you can see better what I'm doing. All right, so pretending that this guy isn't helping me, I'm going to draw this and then something like that. And all right. So he was making this much darker. All right. Moving on.
Daisy's cheek lines.
Cheek lines. Oh boy. Something like that.
And inside the cheeks, we're just going to draw a couple little curved lines for the ends of the mouth.
Right there.
And then to finish up the top part, we're just going to draw one more little curved line that's going to be like the little flip apart for Daisy's bill. Now to that, we're going to start working on the bottom half of the bill.
Bottom
We're
half
just
of
gonna
the
draw a couple
bills.
little lines that come on down. We're going to connect both these lines together with a big curved line at the bottom. Now once you got that shape complete, we're going to draw the same shape, just a little bit smaller, to form up the inside part of Daisy's bill. Once you have that complete, we're going to draw a simple little curvy letter V to form up Daisy's tongue. With the bottom half of Daisy's head looking pretty good, let's go ahead and start working on the top half. So we're going to start with Daisy's eyeballs. So let's start this off with drawing a couple big upside down letters.
Okay, so he is now drawing the eyeballs, which are really big, and he's really good at this. So it's something like that. I think it's too far apart, but something like that. That's not bad.
Letter U's.
Okay. He's so smooth when he draws. All right.
The next step is we're going to draw Daisy's eyebrows.
Okay, eyebrows.
You can essentially think of them as like upside down letter J's. Now after that, we're going to draw a couple small little curved lines and just about trace over the edge of our construction shape to form up the sides of Daisy's head. Wow, she's starting to look like Daisy Duck now, isn't she? Now at the top of the head, we're going to draw a big old oval.
Oh, this will be her.
And that'll actually be the start of Daisy's bow.
Oh, okay. Good.
Once you have the knot of the bow complete, we're going to start working on the sides of the bow. Now from the knot, we're going to draw almost like a large
Her
upside
eyes
down
are
letter
gonna be way
U.
too far apart, but that's all right.
And this will be the top part of the bow.
So.
And then do the same thing to the right side. Basically, just mirroring the line that you had just drawn. We're going to draw the bottom parts of the bow by simply drawing just a little curved line that comes from the lower section of the top of the bow on down and over to the eyebrows. And the other side. With the sides complete, we're going to connect the eyebrow to the knot of the bow.
This is
With the overall bow shape complete, let's start adding some details to the bow.
Much space here.
So we're going to start this off by drawing the fold line for the top of the bow, which is just a very slightly curved line that goes from the knot
curved line
almost to the top of the bow. Then do the same thing to the right side. Then next to each side of the knot of the bow, just draw a little curved line, and these will act as the little crease marks from the knot of the bow. So now the bow is finally complete. Let's jump back now to Daisy's eyes.
Hang on. Oh, I gotcha. He did this. And where's my eraser? I drew these upside down. That's all right. That's all right. Here we go. How does this look? Can I share this yet? I'll play it. I don't know if how great that looks. I have a feeling it doesn't.
So start this off by drawing a curve that comes up from about the middle of the eye and cuts off the top part to about a third of the eye. So about halfway here on up to about a third. And then again on the left. And of course, those are her eyelids. Now on that line, we're going to draw 3 big curved lines for her eyelashes. So one about from the middle, then one a little bit more to the side, and one directly on the side.
Oh. Okay.
And now the eyelashes on the other side. So one at the top.
That's very good.
In the middle, and one slightly to the right.
These don't look like.
And off to the side. And here come the pupils
these do
of the
not
eyes.
look like.
We're going to just draw a couple small little
eyelashes.
egg shapes.
They look like
about the size of large grapes.
alley cat whiskers.
With all the line work done, let's go ahead and start shading in our character. The first thing we're going to shade in are the pupils.
Wait, I didn't see
and
him
go
draw
ahead and
that.
just darken those up completely.
All right. Let me go back to mine just so. It doesn't look bad here because it's a poor camera image, but okay. So he did this. He drew a. Yeah, it's a little. Yeah, like that. And he was shading this in. Oh. There it is. All right. Okay. All right. Back to what he was.
After that, we're going to just add a slight shade
to
the upper parts of the eyelids. And you don't want to go too dark because you really want the pupils to be the darkest part. We're almost finished. One more very important part. We got to sign it. You have to sign your artwork.
Okay.
You worked hard on it. Everyone needs to know your name. And there you go. It's Daisy Duck. Come see me and all the other great artists here at Disney's Art of Animation Resort at Walt Disney World in Florida. Maybe we'll teach you how to draw your favorite Disney character. Thanks for watching. See you real soon.
Good. Not bad. Okay, so there's that. I can go back here. And you guys can't see me because apparently I can't switch cameras, but that's all right. I want to welcome in Griswold family, Vacay, Stevie Lee, Rachel Loves Disney, Shelly Starwalker. Thanks for popping in, guys. We are drawing some Disney stuff. Disney Nerd Herders are also here. Welcome. Amy from AJC Magic TV, welcome to you as well. Thank you so much, everybody, for stopping in. We are just drawing some Disney characters. Let's see. I can zoom out a little bit so you can see my desk a little bit better. All right. I guess that's the whole camera there. All right. So I'm going to... Last time I did this, I could switch cameras.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If I go to device and then back here, then I'm afraid I'm not going to get this back. No, I'm going to do it. There it is, but it's crooked because...
But you had that last time and you fixed it. You clicked
I did.
Something.
Yeah, I did. So...
Rotate screen.
Rotate screen. Where is that? It's transform. This is it. Here we go. Hello, everybody.
Repeated.
Okay, back to Disney Parks blog, and they have a number of tutorials where they're showing us how to draw stuff. So far today, we've drawn Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas and Daisy Duck. Let's now draw Aladdin's pal, Genie. That's how they have it titled here. So,
Well, maybe some of your viewers can find Big Thunder Rubber, but it's not an option.
I'll bet it'll be back, and it might even be... I just have to spend a longer time to search for it. I'm going to draw this now. Or try. So back to this. No, I'll go back to this. And then I've got a new sheet of paper here. Go back to device, and hopefully I can just change that. There it is. All right. I got it.
Is it sideways?
It is. So I've got to change that.
You did that already.
There it is. Okay. Here we go. And I'll zoom in. Fantastic. And here is the video.
Hi, I'm Heather. I'm one of the artists here at the Animation Academy at Disney's Hollywood Studios in Florida.
She's very
here at the
good.
Academy,
And
we teach our guests
the
how
difference
to draw
between
their
her
favorite
videos and
Disney
the other
characters.
guy, Steven, who we just watched, is
One of the characters we're getting a lot of requests
his
for
videos,
is Genie from
they,
Disney's Aladdin, voiced by the great Robin Williams. Let's draw. So we're gonna
before we draw. His videos, they would skip through. They would time lapse. So he would draw something, and then you'd have to pause and do it yourself and catch up. With her videos, I believe that they don't do that. They don't time lapse. So it's whatever she says.
do now. We're gonna actually
goes, and they just
start
leave the camera
planning
running.
out our paper. We want to make sure we keep our character near the center of our paper. We're going to start near the top of our paper with our first circle in between our first and third peg here. And we're going to go about the size of a tennis ball. So again, we're just going to kind of practice using our shoulder. We're not going to make any marks on our paper just yet. We're going to kind of get warmed up a little bit.
She's
So we're going to go ahead and lower that pencil down onto the paper. And do several circles on top of one another. Do not worry about that circle being perfect. So now what we want to do, we're going to draw in another circle about the same size directly underneath it to help you with his chin. We're also going to kind of make this a little more squishier, so a little more of a
Squishier.
soval,
All right.
as we'll call it.
Got
So
it.
I'm going to look at the bottom right corner. Okay.
Blake,
And we're going to do a little
welcome to the
curved
show.
line
Kay
back and
Atwood, good
forth.
to see you.
And
Oh,
we're going to
I
go
wasn't paying
ahead
attention.
and roll this around. We're going to use our
Oh,
shoulder
what?
once again
Hmm.
to draw in a very light circle. Keep it very, very light.
So is it the same size? It looks
And
like
we're
it's
going to
the
go
same size,
into
right?
making a few construction lines on our character.
Good
So we
enough?
look at the top part of the circle. We're going to bring this down into the bottom of that circle.
All right.
So we start with
like
the
that. Oh boy.
top. Keep
Okay.
it curved with the circle. One thing to keep in mind is kind of think of these as more as balls and spheres and globes.
Got it.
And that way you can kind of get this line in there and have it more curved.
Spheres.
Now the horizontal line,
globes.
however, is going to go from right to left, right across that vertical guideline. So we're going to go from right,
Okay. All right.
bring it across to the left side. Okay, and it's going to go several times back and forth, really, really light.
Oh.
If you need another horizontal line to help you with the eyes, you can also come back up to the right side of that circle, and we're going to go across that vertical line.
Oh boy. All right.
It's very, very light at first. What we're going to do, we're going to start going outside to inside and do all the details last. So I'm going to go over here on the right side of his head and start there in between the two horizontal lines. The little curved line. We're going to sketch it out first. We're going to bring this a little bit outside our circle. So we're going to start to make a number 7. Bring it in to the top part of that circle.
Okay, here.
Bring it together. And then we're going to go up against the right side of that circle. And we're going to actually bring this up above his head. We're going to give him a little more of a head bump here. Bring it up and around. Keep the same curve as the circle as you come back around. And we're going to hit right back on the left side. So you're going to have your little points where it touches the circle. Let's keep it light at first. And then you can go in there. Back over here on the right side and start to work on his little cheekbones. So you'll notice there's a lot of curves in the genie already. Eric Goldberg was the supervising animator of the genie, and he was one of the first animators on the project. So he had a chance to kind of look at some artwork and to get inspired for the film. And they used a lot of Al Hertzfeld's artwork. It's a lot of simple and clean lines to his artwork. So that's why you'll see a lot of curves in not just the genie, but some of the other characters in Aladdin. And what we want to do, we're going to actually go into that cheekbone now. We're going to bring a capital T.
Hang on. I think I'm missing.
Let's draw a capital T.
Here.
And we're going to bring this down into.
All right, just let me catch up to what she's doing. So this, okay. So this maybe went out further. She's got this a little more curvy than I do. Okay. And then, so that's more of a horizontal thing. And then she did this. And now she's coming down with this. Something like that. Okay. I'm not going to be as good as she is.
So it's going to come into the bottom circle. Oh. It's going to go over to the right side of that bottom circle. Bring this together at the bottom, tracing over the bottom of the circle there.
All right.
And this will give you his nice big chin.
Oh, is that what that is?
That he's got. And you just have that curve of the circle to help you out with that. Now, if you're not feeling as confident and you don't want to bring all the way over from the bottom of the circle over to the left side just in one big long swoop, you can always come back up to the top part of that circle and come in just a little bit from the circle. Use a pencil width in, this regular pencil, and just come straight down and bring it together at the bottom of the circle. So just kind of sketch it out at first. Okay. That way you can go back in, look at it, and see if you need to adjust a line, bring it out a little bit more. And you can play around this how many times? And now what you want to do is go ahead and put in his ear. And then we'll look at the top part of that circle. You're going to come over to
here.
the left side. So you'll look at it as the pencil.
That's kinda neat.
Top of the circle, come out. You can draw a line if that'll help. And we look at the bottom of the circle. We're going to come down, but we're going to move it up a little bit from the bottom of the circle. So we'll go right about there.
What?
Okay, halfway.
Okay.
And we're going to actually pull in his ears. Your ears are kind of more of an elf's ears, where it's pointed at the top.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to bring this down. And we're going to bring this around.
Oh.
A little S curve
A little more
here.
narrow than I drew it.
And just do
All right.
a little curve at the bottom here. And that will be his ears. His ears can get a little tricky sometimes. And then we can look at the left side of that circle and come straight down. And we're going to angle this down into our Hollywood Studios logo, or just toward the bottom left corner of your paper. Just going to slide it in. This will give you his great big neck and shoulders that he's got. And then on the right side, we're going to kind of do a little bit of the same thing. So I'm just going to look at the bottom right corner of our bottom circle and just draw a little curved line. And this will give you pretty much the outside of the genie first before you put any details in there. And this will help you out.
I missed what she was doing. I was watching.
You want to go ahead and put the hairdo on top of his head? You can. So what we're going to do, we're going to draw in an oval sitting on top of his head. And then his hair kind of reminds me of the magic carpet tassel. So go back and look at that. You can do this however you want to. It's not specific. Or you can actually think of this as kind of like a question mark. You want to just draw a question mark in there, make it a little bit easier for you. And then just go on top of that, make it like a thick question mark. It's fun hair, just going everywhere. Just however you want to. So just go ahead and sketch that out too. So once we get that in there, we're going to go ahead and know where our eyes, nose, and mouth might go. So we know our eyes are going to be here. We know our nose is going to be here and our mouth's down here at the bottom. So we'll keep his teeth together. And we'll go on the right side first and take the top horizontal line. You're going to actually curve this down into that vertical line.
Okay, what's he? What are they?
And then we're going to come over on the right side and draw in another curved line between the two horizontal lines.
Oh, I gotcha.
So it kind of looks like a football on this side. And you want to make sure you leave a little space between his eyes. You need to put like a little small light circle in between the eyes. You can do that, or a pencil width or so. So we look back at the top horizontal line. We know his eyelid's going to match up there. And we're going to sketch it out at first, just in case we need to change up a line anytime throughout the drawing. Bring this down to the bottom horizontal line. And then we're going to come over here on the left side and bring this together. So it kind of looks like maybe an almond or shape for that eye. And what I do recommend is kind of angling the pupils a little bit at the bottoms of the eyes. So we're going to pull them over on the bottom part and kind of angle it. And the same thing on the right side, just kind of angling those pupils, one thing that they'll recommend when they're drawing a genie. And then we're going to actually go on the inside part of his eye, on the right eye here. We're going to curve down into the bottom of the first circle. We're going to come down. And then we're going to give him a little curve at the bottom of his nose because it sticks out into the second circle there. Once it sticks out, it's going to come right. It's going to do a little S curve and bring it right back into that first circle. One thing they'll do in animated movies is actually bring in the voice actors first, and then the animators will videotape them, and they'll actually animate to the videotape so they can get the expression of the genie or Jafar or whoever your favorite character is in Aladdin. Let's trace over a few lines so you can kind of get a good feel of tracing over some lines for like the eyes. I want to make sure the eyelids are a little bit darker at the top.
Got it.
And just kind of trace over the right side and the left side of his eyes. the pupil too. I'm just going to go ahead and shade that in there really quick. Try not to go too thick on the bottoms of the eyes. You're going to kind of at least keep it thick on the top. You have like too much eyeliner there. We're going to trace over the nose since we're all in that area now. Now what we want to do is go directly underneath the left eye and pull in his cheekbones. So we'll just do a little curved line going up against that cheek. Okay, and same thing on the right side, going up against the right side of that eye at the bottom of the eye.
She's very good.
And the cheeks and the dimples kind of push up together like they're the same curve. So that'll help you out too when he's smiling. And so we want to keep him smiling in this pose. It's a lot of squash and stretch used in the genie too, and a lot of the characters. And you'll hear that term a lot in animation. So we'll take the horizontal line in the bottom of this circle, and we're going to basically just draw a little S curve just halfway in between the two areas. I don't want to touch the right side to the top part of the cheek. I want to keep that space right there. So it looks like the illusion that his cheek is coming out towards you more. So I'm sketching in at first, and then I go back in and trace over that line. So now what you want to do is go ahead and draw in a smile. And I recommend drawing through form so you can see where it comes out on the other side. So don't feel like you have to stop out the nose and start over here. Just draw straight through it. You can erase
I will draw straight through his nose
later on once you finish drawing the character. So we start with the dimple. We're going to go ahead and lightly draw through the nose and bring it right back up to his left dimple. Just practice a little bit first with it. And again, if you need to move that line, you can still do that if you need. So we'll trace over that smile. Now we're going to actually go on the right side of that dimple, and we're going to come down into the second circle. To me, this is going to look like a number 1, starting with the top part of his lip, coming down. And we're going to do the cross against the bottom of the base of the number 1 here.
Oh.
And we're going to bring this out to the right side of his cheek here. And you're going to come down. And then we're going to go about halfway in between the top and the bottom of that circle. So we want to find the halfway point here. And you can just do the best you can. It's just approximate. Bring this around. Keep the same curves, kind of the bottom of the circle. So you can use the bottom of the circle as a reference as you're sketching it around at first. And bring it over to about where the left side of the circle is. And we're just going to bring this right back into that left dimple. So we're just going to bring this together. Okay. And that will be his little teeth, bottom teeth there. Now, to make it easy for you, we do have a separation between his upper
I
teeth
see this
and
coming
his
together.
teeth. And we're going to just go in the middle. You can look at the bottom of his teeth right there and bring it over to the side. But draw in kind of like a triangle, and you're just doing kind of the negative space here for the upper teeth and the bottom teeth. That way you don't have to try to figure out which is which over there. Just draw a little triangle and shade that in. And if you want to add a few little teeth marks in yours, you can on the upper teeth or bottom teeth. Just kind of randomly put in little tiny vertical lines. That's your choice to make, though. You can keep it like it is. We'll trace over the right side of the dimple, the cheekbone, the eyebrow bone, right there at the top. We'll go ahead and go back in and trace over the right side of his chin. So we're just kind of tracing over the right side right now. Leaving the left side alone and the top part for just a second. And trace over the bottom part of his chin. We get his chin in there. We can go back up to the left dimple.
I think I want her pencils.
Just to the side of this one. You're going to kind of keep the same curve as his teeth and his cheek, or his cheekbone over here. Bring this down over on the left side. I know one thing, Eric Goldberg referenced Aladdin as like a buddy comedy, because it's like this really great relationship between the genie and Aladdin. Aladdin was done by Glenn Keane, the great Glenn Keane, and also voiced by Scott Winger, who also starred in Full House. is DJ's boyfriend. So neat little trivia there for you. And then he's got that nice little twisty beard. So I like to think kind of like a funnel or just a tornado. You can think of something that twists, like Princess Leia's hairstyle, if that helps. Go over on the right side and kind of do like a letter J at first. And just swirl it around one time. You can go crazy on the swirls if you want. Just have fun with it. It's just hair. It's just a beard. Goatee. And we're just going to actually go up on the left side. Kind of make that a little bit thicker. And come right back on the left side too. Just make sure it completes your beard on the side. All right. So you can just kind of shade in that beard really quick.
Okay.
You can just do a quick sketch too. You don't have to shade in all of those the white spaces in there. And the singing voices, Aladdin and Jasmine, were a little bit different than the speaking voices. That's Brad Keane and Leah Salonga, the singing voices. And then we're going to go back over here on the left side of the chin. We're going to trace over the side of his head and bring it around.
Okay, what now?
One thing Eric Goldberg will remember is watching Robin Williams laugh at some of his animation artwork of the genie coming in there, and he loved working with him on that.
This is not only a cool drawing tutorial,
right
but I like
of his
the little
eyebrow
anecdotes
now.
that she has.
I'm going to put in his, just pull this in a little bit into the circle.
Oh, all right.
And we're going to actually curve all the way around to the right side. So it kind of looks like a Nike swoosh to the side. I want to shade in that eyebrow. And we're going to leave a little bit of space between the two eyebrows. You want to make sure that just a little curved line.
Oh, I didn't go far enough.
And we'll just do another line right on top
My
of
Nike
that.
swoosh wasn't large enough.
It's going to be a nice little eyebrow. Make sure that the eyebrows do not touch each other, so don't cross this eyebrow to the other side or this eyebrow to the other side as well. Just that way you don't have a one eyebrow genie. We'll trace over all of your head, and you can trace over his ear now. All in there.
Okay, we're just darkening the lines now. I see what she's doing.
And then the inside part of his ear, you're going to draw kind of a backwards J. So I do the cross of the J, the same curve as his ear. So just come into the ear a little bit and just do a little curved line. Or upside down Y, that would also work too if you look at it as an upside down Y. And you just trace over his neck. And of course, his hair, you can play around with this however you want to. Just kind of trace over that part.
Oh, okay. Oh, what?
Let's bring this together. You can shade that in if you like. Kind of get a little bit darker. Okay, he's got black hair. Remember at the end of Aladdin, Genie is wearing a Hawaiian shirt and a goofy hat. And remember, we had a little film called Back to Neverland here. And Robin Williams actually wore that kind of same outfit in that film with Walter Cronkite. So we're going to actually draw in a little bit of his earring if you'd like to add it. You don't have to add it if you don't want to. So you just start at the bottom part of his ear and just go with a U shape going over to the left side. Don't let the other side come into the ear. You just want to go to the right side, bring this together, and make that a bubble letter U. All right. Leave it on the genie there. But the last step you ever want to do to your artwork is go ahead and sign your artwork.
Yes.
Put your name on your drawings. You can always date it, put a year on it, whatever you like to do to make sure you can just keep practicing and you look back at your first drawing and just keep getting better each and every time you draw. So there you go. There's Genie. Come see me and my fellow artists here at the Animation Academy, and we wish you a magical day.
Well, thank you for that. How about that, folks? Monarch Moments, welcome to the show. The Surenut 60, welcome. I see you in there as well. Did I miss anybody? So sorry, I was busy drawing. Michelle the Quilter, how you doing? Unibrow. Not bad. I mean, to you guys, this looks fantastic, but to me, up close, I mean, I still got, those original circles. You can still see that. I'm going to move that a little bit closer to the camera. But, this way. This way. There we go. Man, is that difficult to navigate. All right. Like his left eyebrow, I don't know about that. Didn't look as good as hers. None of this looked as good as hers, by the way. And I suppose that's the way it should be. You know what? I'm happy with this, though. This was fun to do. Are you guys doing this along with us? I'm going to do one more today. Let's see. Any requests? Mind you, all the requests have to have a Disney Parks blog tutorial that I can follow. Shelley's working on Snow White. Let's see. As I look, they don't have Snow White listed, so I can't do that as well. I could just go to the next one. Russ is painting. That's awesome. Yeah, no doubt. Looks better than this. Stevie, I did Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas. I'll show you. I'll show you what I've done. Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas looks a little more like Lisa Kudrow than I wanted. Then we had Daisy Duck, which was fun to do. Yeah, I guess I am proud of these. These look pretty good from far away. And then Genie. No, I just finished Sorcerer Mickey. You're no doubt going to tweet that out so we can see it, Noah, aren't you? Hopefully. Let's see. The next one on the list is Tinkerbell. Let's try it. All right. Is this it's her face apparently. Let's see. Okay, let's
Hi, I'm Heather. I'm an artist here at the Animation Academy at Disney's Hollywood Studios.
wait a minute. I can't. There we go. There we go. Okay. No, that's not the one I want. I want. Oh, it opened a new window. No wonder I'm lost. Okay, here we go. If I want Tinkerbell. There it is. Okay, let's follow along.
Studios in Florida. Today we're going to draw the honorary ambassador.
I like
of
Heather.
Green to the United
She's
Nations.
good. I like the way she
It's
describes her
Tinkerbell.
drawing.
Everybody get your pencils, and here we go. So we're going to start out
She's
with
excited.
a simple basic circle about the size of a baseball. We're going to put that near the center
Drawn
of our
baseball.
paper. We're going to go ahead and kind of warm up a little bit and practice drawing our circles.
Not
with
only
our
does she show you how to
shoulders.
draw it, she shows you
When
how
we're ready,
to
we're
draw
gonna
it.
go ahead and lower that pencil down onto the paper.
Does that make sense?
Several times over and over.
Okay, so
Gonna get a good feel of it. Don't worry about it being a perfect circle.
There we go. Okay. We're back. What did I miss?
Line. And that's going to be about a third of the way
Okay.
from the bottom of the circle. Back and forth. Really fast. I'm going to help you out and put another horizontal line for the top of
Wait, what was
her
the
eyes.
first one?
That's nearly about where the halfway point of the circle is. So go ahead and sketch that out. Again, don't worry about these being perfectly straight lines. These are just construction lines to help you place the eyes, nose, and mouth on our character.
All right.
We're going to go outside first and then put in the details.
Done.
So what I want to try to do is get in that chin. And to help you get the chin in, I like the bottom of the circle. And I take about where the top horizontal line is. I'm going to bring this down into the bottom of the circle, into the open area. Okay, so we know where her thumb is now. We're going to actually make a mark for her chin. That way you remember. And then we're going to actually bring
Did I leave myself
her
enough
head
paper?
a little bit, because your skull kind of comes in right where your eyes are. So we're going to look at the side of the circle. Bring it in just a little bit. The same thing on the right side. Take the right side of that circle. We're going to curve it in just a tiny bit. Get a little bit of a curve in her face. But we want to kind of bring it out a little bit for her cheeks too. So what we're going to do, we're just going to sketch it in very, very lightly at first. And bring it into that line. Just angle it right in there. She's got more of a rounder face, not quite as much of a point. She is a fairy. She's not a human, but she's a fun fairy. Gonna bring this in.
All right.
Just do the best you can to get the same thing on both sides. So one little trick is you can take your paper off. So you just want to hold it up and look at it backwards, and you can see if your cheeks are off. And hold it up against a good light.
What? I'm drawing Mr. Peanut.
Okay. So we're going to go back into the drawing now, once we fix that.
Let me see hers.
And we're going to
again.
go on top of her head and draw
Hers
in
might be a
an
little-
oval. So we're going to go back and forth,
Oh my God,
right
that's not bad.
across that vertical line, back and forth. And we're going to go about the size of a Mickey ear. So we're just going to go ahead and wrap it around, using that shoulder once again. So we'll get good practice with our shoulders. Still going very, very light at first. You can always go back in and darken in lines, and you can change it up as many times as you want, because she's not finished until you say it's finished, because you're the artist. Okay, so now we got where her bun is going to be, and then we're going to go ahead and still work on the outside of her head. So we're going to look right here at the horizontal line, at the vertical line where they meet, and we're going to draw kind of a V shape.
Oh, okay.
And the hair doesn't have to be specific. We just want to get a nice little side swept bangs on the right and to the left. So you can play around with this however you want to. Try not to think too much about the hair. Just go for it and just have fun with it. Little curved lines going out to the right.
I never think much about my hair, so this is easy for me.
Little B's. And then we're going to trace over the right side of the circle for right now. We're going to go over on the left side and do a few other little curved lines. Just kind of keep it nice and loose. Our B's. And then we're going to come over here at the top horizontal line. We're going to bring the curved line outside that circle. We're going to keep it above that circle and start to draw through where the bun's going to be. Now, we're not going to darken in this line right here anyway. It's just going to help us out when we try to sketch out that hair. So it's going to bring this up and around. And we're going to bring it over to the right side and let it stop at the horizontal line. Make sure it comes outside her head. Just give it enough volume in there. Just kind of got those nice little poofy bangs. I like to kind of think of those 80s bangs kind of. So now what we want to do is go ahead and put some volume on the side of her head too. So I'm going to look at the bottom horizontal line, and we're going to do a little curved line going up into where her bangs are, right into this area. From the bottom horizontal line up. We're going to do the same thing on the right side. We'll take the bottom horizontal line and curve it up.
All right.
Once you get that shape in there, we're going to do one more little curved line underneath it. So it's kind of tiered a little bit. So take the bottom of the circle and bring your finger out to the side of the cheek or your pencil to the side of the cheek. And just start with the bottom of the ear there and just bring it up into her hair. The top part of her ear is kind of covered up by her hair. So we're going to do the same thing on the right side. We're going to look at the bottom of that circle. We're going to do a little curved line going up into the hair. So it looks like her ear is kind of hidden in her hair.
Oh, mine's
right
much slower.
side.
Hang on,
That
gotta
will
redo
be
that.
her hairdo. So now we have basically the outside of Tinkerbell. And then we're going to go into the inside. And it'll help you with your features and everything at first. And if you want, we'll go back into the bun and kind of tidy that up in just a little bit too.
Something like that. That's
now
better.
you still have everything very light. We're going to go ahead and work on these eyes. And you can eliminate these little vertical lines as you practice with it. But to make sure we keep the spacing right for the eyes, you do want to make sure that you have a little bit of space between the side of the eye and the side of her head. So I'm going to draw a very light vertical line.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Just to the inside, maybe it's about a pencil width. And then we're going to go on the same thing on the right side of her head, about a pencil width between the side of her head. And then we're going to go ahead and look at the vertical line in the left side of the circle. And about find the center between the vertical line and left side of the circle. And draw in just a light vertical line. This will help you with your eyes. And again, once you practice it more and more, you can eliminate these lines if you need to.
Okay.
So take the vertical line and the right side of the head. You're going to find the center once again.
Sorry to interrupt.
And the reason we're kind of doing this is to make sure that you do keep a good spacing. I'm trying to adjust it a little bit, just kind of change it up. Make sure that we have about an eye width between the two eyes, and that way you don't get it too close together or too far apart.
You're not
so
in my
you don't
shot.
want to make her eyes too close together. So now what we want to do is go ahead and draw in a football shape for her eyes. So her eyes kind of point up at an angle a little bit. So we look at that top horizontal line. We're going to curve this down to that vertical line. And we're going to go on the right side, kind of trace down the little vertical line we did for that little square and bring it down into a point. So basically, you're just rounding off those corners at the top and at the bottom right there. And do the same thing on the other side. Just do the best you can with the eyes and getting the same thing on the left side. And then just sketching this out at first, kind of get it nice and light. And then we're going to go ahead. Right now, she kind of needs those irises to really bring her to life. Yeah, she starts to look like an alien right now.
Yes, she does.
So we're going to actually draw in an oval right here in the middle of her eyes. Now, what you want to do is make sure you draw in the full oval for her iris. So I'm going to put it a little bit closer to her eyes, but try not to get it too close to the inside of the eye. And if you draw in a circle, it's going to help you see that spacing right there and in the top. And obviously, you got spacing on the left side. If you cheat that circle, it's going to get too close to the inside of the eye and you end up with the cross side.
Got too much sketching here.
So just try to draw in those circles a little bit close to the inside. Drawing that full round shape. And then we're going to draw in another circle inside each one of those. So we're just going to go ahead and sketch that out. Same thing on the right side. Just draw in another circle. Now this is the pupil. And the bigger one is the iris. And hers are blue. So that'll be for her main part of the eyes. Right up above each of the eyelids, you have a...
My face looks too narrow.
Or the crease of your eyelid.
Much like the Sally I drew earlier.
And then you do the same thing on the left side.
Okay,
go ahead and bring that in. So I'm going to go ahead and trace over the top part of our eyelid. Kind of get that done. And that's where you really want to put the darker of the lines on your eyes. And play around with your line quality on the bottoms of your eyes and on the sides. You don't want to get too thick at the bottom and the sides all the way around. So make sure you have just a little bit of a variation there. We'll trace over your iris and your pupil.
Okay.
And then on top of your eyelids, you're going to flow out to the right for the right eyelashes. So we're going to curve off of the eyelid, and make a little bit of an S curve. Just let it flow back and forth, and do it several times off of that one so you can get lots of practice. And we're going to go over on the right and just let it flow a little bit. Just a few little fine little eyelashes. One more. We're going to do the same thing on the left side. Eyelid's going to curve out to the left and down. You're going to come out to the left, back down again. Okay, just do it 4 times or 5. 4 or 5 times is good. And then her nose is right at the bottom of the circle. So remember, we talked about the ears, about where the bottom of the circle is last time. So you want to draw in a nice light little oval just to help you remember where that nose is going to be. A lot of times when we draw human faces, we'll draw little circles there. And to keep the nose pretty simple, we're just going to trace over like maybe the top part.
Oh, gotcha.
And we look at the bottom of the nose and just trace over just a little bit of that corner right there on the bottom of the nose. And on the right side, trace over a little bit of this corner too.
Oh,
so now what you want to do is go ahead and draw in an upper lip. And for the
what's Goofy's
upper lip,
son's name?
Roughly
Max?
just a little bit lower than the bottom of the nose, kind of where the cheeks are, kind of lines up in that area. And then we look back at the pupil and come down underneath the nose and draw in the dimple right there. That will help you out a little bit when you draw her when she's smiling.
Her half-finished drawing is going to look so much better than my completely
Same
finished
thing on the right
drawing.
side. Look at the pupil. Come down to the right side and just draw in a little dimple. And now what you want to do is basically draw in kind of a happy face smile for her upper lip. So we're going to bring this down and going to give a little bit of a curl for her upper lips, a little bit of a curl in there in that line, and bring it over on the right side. Just take your time and just do the best you can. Again, your dimples will line up on the same level. So I like to take my pencil to the top or the upper lip, make sure our dimples are pretty straight. Otherwise, if you have it down a little bit, you might have a crooked smile.
My Tinkerbell
and then we're going to
looks
look at the dimple on the right
like
side.
A pixie
so
than it
look
does
as
an
frustrated.
elf.
So we're going to go down the line, and right about where it starts to curve in, we're going to curve down, like maybe more of a letter U shape here. Or it's kind of a nice hammock shape. Now, if you feel more comfortable just coming back up on the left side and bring it together in the middle, you can. So we just start on the left and bring it in. And then inside your mouth, you're going to draw in another line for her bottom lip.
Like
so to start on the right side, come into the vertical line and bring it over to the left side. And we can just leave that open space in the middle for her teeth. Just leave that alone. And the bottom lip is a little bit thicker. So that would be her bottom lip.
What?
And then we'll just go ahead and trace over the side of your cheeks once you like it. And if you need to change it up still, you can still change up your line. The right side. And bring this in. And then we're going to go ahead and put in a few eyebrows because what really makes her characters more expressive is putting those eyebrows in, obviously, that smile. So we'll just go vertical line, right side of that circle. Start on the inside part of the eye. Come up. And you can go through the hair. Just have the hair kind of overlap the eyebrow. So when you go back in, you'll just darken in the hair on top of that eyebrow. And it covers it up, so you don't have to worry about that. So we'll just start on the inside part of the eye, up above the horizontal line once again, and just do a little curved line around the eye. Just be creative and have fun in art. That's what art's all about. Just enjoying yourself. And
well, I am enjoying myself.
Positive attitude.
I am not drawing
you can do
this very well, but
so we're going to actually trace over part of her ears, the left side, and also her hair. Now, Peter Pan was done in the 1950s, And she is the creation of Mark Davis. He is one of Walt Disney's 9 old men. And you might be able to see some of Mark Davis's handprints outside of our attraction here when you come in and visit us. I invite you to check that out and look around at Mark Davis's handprints. She is also the imagination of British author James M. Barrie. It's from a 1904 stage play, Peter Pan, and that's where Walt Disney went in there and loved it so much. He's like, hey, I got to make an animated movie one day. And then we're going to go ahead and trace over part of her bun. And when I don't just trace over that circle, I actually just come up and kind of curve in a little bit, kind of give her some little flyaways in her bun. And have like a little at the top, just kind of come out and right back in. But you can play around with this however you want to. You can make it really messy. Kind of give her that little bit of a texture in her bun, in her hair. And do little curves laying out to the right. And again, just play around with it however you like. Bring it, make it a little squishy right there on this side. As you can see, I'm going to bring this line out a little bit more. Change that line.
Yeah, my face is.
And then we're going to go ahead
Tinkerbell's a little
and
too
do
narrow.
a little bit of her ribbon. Just at
When
the
do
top,
we
where the top part of her
shade
head
in
meets
her
the bun.
eyes because she's freaking me
I'm
out?
just going to pull this line up just a little
I didn't
bit.
do that.
And on the right side, come back down to the right side of that circle. Now, she does have a little bit of a ribbon hanging down behind her bun, but we're not going to see it in the front view pose. It's usually behind. And then we can shade in the pupils to really start to bring Tinkerbell to life. And we're going to shade in her irises. Now, you want to make sure that you keep this one a little bit lighter for her iris. And then we're going to actually shade in part of her ribbon here too. Just keep it light and keep it loose and have fun. Of course, the last step that you ever want to do with your drawings is to make sure that you sign your artwork.
I don't know if I'm going to sign this one.
So just put your name on it. I always like to encourage everybody just to add a little bit of pixie dust.
Oh, pixie dust.
Somewhere on it. You're more than welcome to date it if you want to. That way you can always look back at your drawings. You can see the progression in your art, and that's always a good thing to do. And there you go.
I would
Tinkerbell.
do this one again.
Come see me and my fellow artists here at the Animation Academy. Maybe we'll teach you how to draw one of your favorite Disney characters.
I would do this one again someday.
I wish you faith, trust, and
wait, if I just angle the paper, that looks better. How about that? Oh, well. Okay, so seemingly my drawings got worse as I went along. No, that's not true. Okay, so there was Sally. We started with that. Daisy Duck might be my favorite. Genie. Actually, that's pretty good. I like that one. And Barney Rubble. Okay. I'm gonna call it there, I think. Is everything all right out there?
I'm sorry, I just need the green screen.
That's all right. It's right over there. Okay, folks, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Can I switch back to my camera if I do this? Hopefully. Yes, there I am. But I've got to. There it is. Too far, too close. All right. Charlie invited me to be on Disney Nerd Herders tonight. That's at 7:00. And I think he wants to talk about Star Wars stuff because it's going to be a Star Wars Day on Monday. And they've never been to Galaxy's Edge. And I've been lucky enough to be there a few times. So I think they want a bit of advice for when they finally get to go there. What to look out for, how to navigate the place. So I've got some maps and stuff that hopefully I can help them out. I want to thank you all for joining me. I'm going to try to go on in the afternoons as often as I can to do stuff like this, draw, trivia, whatever. Jason and Bridget, Uper Wisdom Videos, thank you so much for your help. We'll get to Big Thunder Mountain eventually. But until then, I will see you at the Disney Nerd Herders live stream tonight, 7 p.m. Thank you, everybody. I will see you soon. Bye-bye.